Hey guys, today I'm hopping on to talk a little bit about balancing homeschool and enjoying the rest of summer here in New York City. So let's get into it. If you're new here and you don't know who I am, I'm Christine. I'm owner and content creator of bloomingbrilliant.net, where I share educational resources, parenting advice, and of course, information about homeschooling. I'm a homeschool mom of two. I homeschool my 14-year-old daughter and my 10-year-old son right here in Brooklyn, New York, and I'd love to share our journey with you. If you're interested in homeschooling and have not subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for? Make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you're alerted when we post new videos because you don't want to miss them. As homeschoolers, I think we are always making things learning experiences. We know that our kids are always learning. So when summer approaches, it just falls into place that we are doing activities or having experiences that also have learning involved, and a lot of us do continue to homeschool throughout the summer. But what happens when you want to relax and enjoy the summer, start planning your next homeschool year, and also make sure that your kids are having some enrichment throughout the summer as well? Well, today I'm going to talk about how you can balance some homeschooling while also enjoying the remainder of your summer, because summer is winding down, and for many homeschoolers around the world, they are starting their homeschools already. York, many of us, not all of us, a lot of us have already, like I homeschooled a little bit throughout the summer. We did some of our history, we did some of our social studies, not a ton, but we did some of that. We continued reading, we continued some of our subjects, and we did a focus on some art and some engineering for my son. So that all counts towards our homeschool. And that's fine. That's another thing that like you need to figure out about balancing. But a lot of us take advantage of the school year that traditional schools have for when they go back to school, and we might start after that, or we might start around the same time, so that way our kids kind of fall in line, at least socially, with their peers that are in traditional school. A lot of us like to take advantage of when the kids go back to their traditional school, so that way we can go and enjoy all the sights and sounds here in New York City, especially, without so much congestion. So that's another thing that is just a balancing act, whether it is between homeschooling and enjoying summer. Okay, so enough chatting about all the things that we know about homeschooling and how that all works. What do you do if you want to still enjoy the season, whether it's summer or fall, here in New York or wherever you are, and you still want to homeschool? Like, you want to balance homeschooling and still enjoying the things around you, because that's something that we all like to do. We all want to, especially while the weather is good, is to be able to go out, explore, do different things, run our lives, but still homeschool and not be stuck with having to lug books around or curriculum, or feel like we're falling behind because we're doing a ton of like field trips and stuff. So how do you do it? So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you have a flexible schedule. Being flexible is like the number one thing when it comes to homeschooling. You don't want to have like so much structure, in the sense that one thing goes off the rails or one thing trips up your schedule and you are done and you just feel like a complete and total failure. You want to have it in a way that even if you miss something for one day, you're going to be able to pick up right where you left off and not, ruin your whole cycle or your whole schedule, however you do it. So make sure that you're flexible, that no matter what comes up, what opportunities arise, you will be able to enjoy them and not worried about getting in that math session, because there's going to be a way that you can do that, right? You're going to be able to do it somehow, some way. So, an example of that could look like mornings you spend doing whatever few lessons that you need to do and keeping the afternoons and evenings open for exploration and passion projects. Or if you're like me and you're working, maybe you set aside one day a week where you're focused on, getting going out and exploring and doing the activities, or a couple of days a week, or just trying to fit it into your schedule however it works. So if you're working like me in the evenings, then your mornings and afternoons are going to be as much school as you can get. Or if you're working in the mornings, then you're going to want to schedule or your homeschool so that way the afternoons, evenings, when you're free from work, you can devote to homeschooling. And I use this work example because a lot of us are working and homeschooling and trying to manage it. So, regardless of homeschooling and trying to enjoy the seasons, whether it's summer, fall, whatever, or just trying to function with working and taking care of your home and taking care of your family, I find that this whole conversation could be brought into just balancing your homeschool and life, and being flexible is the best way that you can do that. Setting up your schedule so that it's beneficial to you and what you want and what you need to do is also really important. So, like I said, depending on your work schedule, depending on when your children are the most focused, depending on what's going on in your life in this season, depending on your goals, and even just what you want to experience in your neighborhood or in your city. Um, Make sure you take that into account when you're setting your schedule, when you're planning your quarter, and that way you kind of relieve some stress when it comes to actually doing it, and actually then not having to stress over all the schoolwork that you feel like you're missing, but because you've already planned ahead and have figured that all out. So now you're trying to figure out like what kind of fun, engaging things can you do here in New York City or in your neighborhood or in your city? Like what kinds of stuff can you do to actually enjoy the season, but also connect to homeschooling or not feel so bad about it? Because I mean, we should never feel bad about any of it, but just let's brainstorm some things that you can do. Well, if you're here in New York, we have so many museums, so many libraries, so many exhibits, so many fun things that we can do. We have the Museum of Natural History, we have space museums, we have art museums, we have so many. I mean, there's a museum for everything. There's shows, there's so many amazing things. It doesn't even have to be like super expensive, like Broadway shows. Like there's off Broadway, there's so many things for young kids, older kids, so many amazing resources just here in New York City. But what if you want to get outside? Now, as we're ending summer, going towards the end of the summer and kind of getting into fall, there are so many opportunities to that you want to get outside. Going to the park is great. Going to Central Park is awesome. Enjoying those amazing places outside here in New York City, going to the botanical gardens, things like that can really make learning come to life and also help your kids like burn off steam. Getting outside, roller skating, scootering, riding their bike, having a picnic. Currently, you could go to the beach and enjoy that. You could even like explore the beach as a lesson, learning about like nature studies going on, nature walks. There's some amazing places where they actually provide, like you could go on like these different trails here in the city and explore the world that you live in. So, how can we make all of this fun activities connected to our lessons or educational? Well, there's always a way to make these kinds of field trips more educational or tie them into your lessons when you're sitting at the table or reading those books or watching whatever the videos that you do for your lessons. There's always a way to connect the experiences that your kids are currently having by exploring the city or exploring wherever you guys are. So, for example, here in New York, going to visit the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island and seeing the whole seeing all of that and how immigration took place there and then tying it into your history lesson is an amazing experience. We also have like all of the American Revolution stuff. So going on a walking tour of that is pretty amazing as well. New York is so full of history, and something like that, when you go over like something about the American Revolution, while parts of it were in other locations like Boston and everything, focusing on what happened here in New York, and you could even tie in like Hamilton, really makes kids excited, especially older kids, for something like that. I know that when I was in like high school, I did a whole New York history class, and it really brought it to life because we lived here, and we live here, and being able to see the stuff and make it real to us instead of just from a dusty book was really good. So what about socialization? How can you make sure that your kids are socializing through the season in a way that's beneficial for their education, but also that they're enjoying things outside of the home and out of maybe even your immediate neighborhood? So some things like workshops and co-ops and community groups that they have, like different get-togethers and stuff, are really beneficial for making sure that your kids are outside socializing and being around other kids. Also, that they, or if they're doing some kind of workshop in a or class in a museum, that they are like-minded and valuing education, and that's also a benefit that you kind of get to find friends based on your interest, not just on your neighborhood because of the class that you were thrown into, like your zone school. And you don't always have to be out and about to be learning and growing and enjoying the season while homeschooling. You can be doing fun things at home or in your neighborhood, like more locally. Fun science activities or experiments at home are a blast, and they're hands on, and they really connect kids to their learning. It's a really great way for them to just experience things and make it their own, and they'll remember it a lot more if it's hands-on. And just being flexible, making sure that they do have their downtime, their time where they explore their own interests, nothing, mandated onto them from what needs to be done for our records or because we're interested in it. Let them explore their own interest as well. And it might take some time to get, flexible or comfortable with the flexibility of it. Just try to be realistic about things. Try to be aware of all the needs that you have beforehand and your kids have in order to find that balance. It can be challenging at first to figure out how to balance everything, but flexibility definitely is key in taking into account your child's needs. Like if they need a lot of structure, then have it structured. Make sure you have a plan for your exploration and weave it into your homeschool. There's no reason why you can't enjoy whatever season it is that you are in and the actual season of the year, and enjoy being in your neighborhood, in your city, in your state, and exploring and enjoying and having experiences, because hands-on experiences are a great way to learn, and you can always connect that back to your book work. So don't stress over all the book work that you might be missing. Go out and enjoy. Hands-on learning is the best learning. So I hope this video kind of helps you guys out when you're trying to balance all the things. I know it's challenging. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you have anything that you want to share, any tips, let me know as well. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you think somebody can benefit from it, please share it with them. And because it really does help us out. And that's it. Have a great day and happy homeschooling. I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Have a good one.